Hi everyone, this is 270EHA19 here, and in this video, we're going to be taking a tour of the Brita filters. Out with the old and in with the new. Basically, in my situation here, the year 2003 versus the year 2025. This video there are going to be timestamps. So if you're interested in a section of the video, rather than watching the whole video, then there will be timestamps that will indicate what you may be interested for. Now, in my situation, why a Brita portable filter? There are two reasons that I can come up with. These are personal. Now, I'm sure that with you, the viewer, you may have a different reason for it. First reason, back in the year 2003, I lived in a rented room that lacked running water. So there was no sink in the room. There was a sink in the kitchen in general, or even in the bathroom, but there was no sink in the room that I rented. So it was an apartment that had 3 rented bedrooms, and the other areas such as like the living room and kitchen, it was something in general for those that want to hang around in the area or use either the kitchen or the bathroom. You can, and that was what I lived at the time. The second reason, no faucet attached filter. Now this reminds me at a time when my parents, growing up with them, they used to always love these faucet attached filters. And to me, I remember that in my first apartment, I had one of those, and I don't know, it was just cumbersome. Just having that little hose come out of the faucet to the attached filter, like over time, it just really wore out. And it wore out really quick because the kitchen sink was something that was commonly used. So my parents, their favorite filter at the time was a really big major brand that I'm not going to mention in this video. But the brand, in my opinion, was sort of a scammer brand. Let's put it that way. Now, I don't want to put them on blast, so I'd rather just keep this general. Anyway, so in my preference, I've always enjoyed the Brita filters as they are. So what you'll see here on the left, which is the older one, which we're going to take a look at in the next section. But why I enjoy these Brita portable filters is because of their freedom, and you could just use these just about anywhere. You don't have to keep them stationary. Basically, you could just take them with you. You know, the possibilities are endless. So that's what I love about these. Now, of course, there are other brands that have their similarities like Brita, but in this video, we're just going to stick with the brand name here, which is Brita. Let's keep it that way. Just a quick disclaimer that I wanted to mention in this video. When you hear me say 2003 or 2025 are the years that I purchased said filter. So, for example, the filter on the left is 2003 and the filter on the right is 2025. Well, here we have it. This is the Brita filter from the year 2003. And before we get into the unit, just look at the logo on the filter itself. This is a logo that really screams the decade of the 90s till about mid 20, or should I say 2010s. So from the 1990s to until mid 2010s. Really, really, really interesting logo. And it was a logo that really caught everyone's eye whenever they visited me and so forth. So yeah, it's a really big, bold logo that really brought a bold statement on this Old Brita filter. Now, just a quick history on this filter. When I purchased it back in the year 2003, I was renting a room, as what I mentioned earlier in the video, but this room actually lacked running water, and this filter just made it perfect for me to do all of my filtration to allow me to drink water in the room and so forth. It was a filter that allowed me to either keep it in the fridge or outside the fridge. Mostly I kept it outside the fridge because, of course, I really had no space in the tiny fridge to fit the filter. But now that I live in a condo, that I've been here for more than 19 years, well, I can fit it in the fridge, and it's convenient to get cold water out of it. Now, this is how the filter looks. And if we look all around, there is a good amount of wear in this unit. A good amount of wear. Let me just mention that, because of course it's over 22 years old, and a really good amount of wear. I'm sure you guys caught something as I was spinning the picture there. Now, as I stand up and we look at the top of the picture, what I loved about this picture is that it was simple, extremely simple to operate. The only thing I had to do was just put the filters in there, and whenever they got worn and they ran out, well, I just simply replace it. This filter picture had no gadgets. It really had no electronics that would tell you when you had to change the filter. That was up to me. Like, I had the control of that. And the thing that I loved about this picture as well is the little flap you see right over here. That really keeps the water staying fresh inside the filter. Which, by the way, on the new one, it lacks this little flap. So, oh my God, I am going to miss this one. I really am going to miss it. So as I lift up the lid, well, so what do we have in here are the old filters. And of course, this one is already worn. So this one's done. But as you can see, you lift it up, and of course it has these little what would I say, these little slots that you put it in a certain way. So in this case, it just went in just one way. There's no confusing how you'd stick this in there. That's it. It just goes only in the filter just one way, which is not bad. And then the whole upper part where it collects the water just lifts up, and then you have the basket. Yep. And as you can see, there are some cracks towards the handle right over here. And if we stick this right on the table here, we're going to look at that for a second. As we look at the cracks in the handle, this took a lot of wear and tear, and that's the main reason as to why I'm getting rid of this one. And it looked like that the picture itself had a lot of high stress point towards the top than what it did in the bottom. There are like little small cracks that you can see in the bottom there. And wow, this took a lot of cracks. So I noticed this like towards the end of last year. So yeah, this thing really took its toll for more than 22 years. And yeah, it's a really, really, really simple filter. And that's why I loved it, because of its simplicity, you know. This filter just did its job. There was no high-tech components in it. This thing just did the job, and it did everything that I requested it to do. So I'm gonna miss this a whole lot, because using this filter and changing the cartridges for more than 2 decades, wow. Yeah, it goes to show how good a nice picture can last for quite a long time. And this one really, really, really took a beating. It also took a beating because I moved from the rented room over to a small studio apartment. Then, of course, I went to a larger studio apartment. Then I went back to the rented room, and then I moved over here, all with this filter that you see right in front of your screen right now. So all this moving around actually happened from like early 2003 all the way to like early 2006. And then of course, staying in this condo for 19 years while this filter really, really, really lasted the test of time. Let's put it that way. And that's my brief history here. Here we have it. The Brita filter from the year 2025. A new endeavor, new changes, and some con frustrations along the way. I could point out two of them that I see that I do not like from this unit versus the previous one that I showed. Anyway, of course, this one supposedly offers a smart sealed indicator that has a non-removable battery coin cell into it. So anyway, this filter does, similar to the old one, is space and fridge friendly. It's compatible with all filters except the stream one. It has the filter life indicator and the smart filter. Let me see the smart filter alerts. Oh my God. Again, these electronic gadgets that I do not like. So the third and fourth reason that I mentioned over here, for me, this is what I call future e-wastes, especially for a device that uses a regular coin cell battery. That, how come Brita didn't figure out a way how to make this like rechargeable or something? Really? Do you have to put these non-removable battery electronic gadgets in these units? This is one of the reasons why I'm gonna miss the previous picture from the year 2003. This is the reason why. Anyway, and of course, what you're gonna see in the package of this filter as it's packaged is the warning button coin cell battery. With that said, this is the little paper that came inside. So right here, you can pause and read through that. And right over here, you can also pause and just read through that. Right. So let's take a look at the unit now. And it does offer some conveniences. Like if I need to pour in some water, all I have to do is just lift up this lid right over here with the latch that you see there. The old one didn't offer this convenient feature, so I do like that. However, if you're gonna wash this filter, oh goodness. And this is the part that really this is the part that irks me about this filter. It has this electronic gadget right over here. So whatever lights that come out green or red from what you see right over here, as it just lit up. Let's see. There. Okay, it's trolling me now. Anyways, once you saw that light just light up, you'll know when to change the filter from what the electronic gadget right there says. Anyway, so say if I do need to change the filter, then with two hands, because I'm doing this one-handed because I'm holding the camera, I would just set this apart. And this is how the filter fits in here. And this filter, unlike the old one, even though it has the slots that you could probably put this cartridge in an older model, But it's not applicable here because you could put it any way you want. Like, I could just spin it, find the bigger slot, put it in that way, or find some other slots and just put it in any way I want, which it's really nice. I'm sure it seals better. So you can see the slots here in the bottom as I pull the cartridge up, and I could spin it any way that I want, and it just falls in. So I like that convenience. I really do. I really like that convenience. So at least I don't have to worry about how to put it in, or worry about what slot that I should use in order to put it in. Now, I talked about the electronic gadget that this thing has. That is the filter life indicator there. And what lacks on this one that I mentioned on the other one, it lacks the little flap here. Why did Brita lack on this? I don't understand why. But I wish that this one would have just had it, because I could stick this in the fridge, and if it stays there for like at least a day or two, you know, with a filter like this, like all of the, I don't know, I guess the air from the fridge is, I don't know, it's just gonna make the water more stale. That's what I can see, in my opinion. Now, I'm sure that everyone's opinion will differ, but I really think that they should have kept the flap on this one, just like they did on in the older model. But of course, things change, and you know things change with as decades come, and it is what it is. So if we look at the logo, the Brita logo, let's see if I could shine this with the light. That's the logo that we see right over here. It's on the top of the unit. And like it is, the older model really displayed it boldly on the plastic. So, as it is, I guess for now, until this wears out just like the older model, then this is my new endeavor right here. It's going to be some very interesting times. Very interesting times. For those of you who love putting your Brita filters in the fridge, you're going to see the difference between the one from 2003 versus the one from 2025. In my situation, as you can see on the top door here on the fridge, I would always tuck in the old filter, and it fits nicely in there. Now, I just discovered that when putting the new one in there, it doesn't fit at all. So now I have to get a different spot on the fridge door in order to fit the new one. Good thing I did, because these fridge doors are so fixed with their shelves. Oh, this sucks. And now with this newer filter, now it has to be down here now. Now with the old one from 2003, it fits nicely up there. And as you can see, the more square the Brita filter is, it's hard to put them in your fridge door. And what's interesting about these two filters, they both have a 10 cup capacity, which is quite interesting. Yet the older one feels more aerodynamic versus the new one. For those of you who are interested, and if you clicked on this portion of the timestamp of the video, here's how the filter looks like in its package. And I figure I'd do this now, midway of the video, because we have a lot of nasty keyboard surfers out there. Trollers, should I say. Well, here we go. Let's take a tour of the box and let the box give you the explanation of the specs of this filter. And as you can see inside, well, the filter does come with its own filter cartridge as well. But as it is, from what you guys saw at the beginning of the video, the comparison of both the new and the old filter cartridge packages. So yeah, it's nice that it comes with a starter cartridge, so this way I can be able to get it going right away. Here we have the boxes of the filters, and it's interesting the way each box has their logos. Very interesting. It's interesting how things can change within a 20-year, or should I say within at least a 10-year period, because the box on the left is not that old. The box on the left is somewhere around, I'm going to say 2016, 2017 or so. And I do still have a couple of cartridges in there. And fortunately, I do have another larger filter that will still be able to use the cartridges there. So yeah, which is not bad. So here's the box that you see there on the left and what you see on the right. So if we turn them around, that's how both boxes of the filter cartridges look like. And that's it. And the coolest part about what we're seeing here is that the filters that you see on the left, you can still get them on eBay, while the ones on the right are popular among everywhere, that you can get them either in Walmart or Walgreens, etc. If you came to this point of the video, I wanted to really thank you for watching the video of the tour of the Brita filters, out with the old and with the new. This is 270EH19 signing out, and you guys will see me on another video.